Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Samutupi. We're back again onto my YouTube channel. On today's video, we're going to be looking at the markets, obviously, because I spent a lot of time, just being able to just study the markets, see how it moves. More importantly, observing US30 and how it's been moving the past few days and hours. So yesterday, yes, we were able to capitalize a few on some moves. We were able to collect like a few pips from US30. Like I think we captured somewhere around I'm not too sure, but I think we captured somewhere around like maybe 150 points or something like that. But we'll take a look at it, and it was so amazing. I want to show you guys what it is that I saw, because the first trade that we took was a negative. It went against us. Then the second trade that I took is the one that actually paid out, and it paid out all the losses, and it put us massively into profits. So I want us to speak a bit more about that, and then we are also going to be looking at how I was able to catch the trade, what I learned from it, and we can see even the one that I'm currently holding, because I've got a trade that's running now still on US30, so I want us to cover it a bit. So what I have here is let me just do exactly this so you can simply see this. So what I have here is literally price, it broke a bit more to the downside on the 4 hour. This is what I've been looking at. I've been looking at an area similar to this neck. So obviously I saw this first touch, this second touch. So now I was like, okay, this is a breakout all the way to the downside. But now obviously I believe that there's a high chance of us coming all the way down to the 90% rule. But I wanted price to just retest somewhere here so we can continue going down, which is what explains me being in the sell that I am currently in now. But as soon as it got here, I was like, you know what, maybe this area can form into previous resistance. It broke out, came back to retest as support. So how about we seeing a support here? So let me just go down. Firstly, what I had is this. Okay, let me just do this. Firstly, what I had is this area is gonna give us some double tops, first peak and then second peak, then it will go down with it. And I was like, okay, no, it went down a bit. I was floating 2,000-3,000. I didn't close, and then boom, it started shooting upwards. Let's see. Yeah, I think I sold somewhere around here. It went down, then boom, it started shooting upwards. Then it took me out, but it took me out somewhere around here. I think I closed my losses manually. Like I'm the one that was like, you know what, let me close this, let me take this negativeness. So one thing that's important about trading is that you need to understand the types of entries that you get, and also stop loss types of entries. Don't just wait for a trade to go all the way back to your stop loss. Rather be smart about it. That's why I was able to capture at least 23,000, 22 to 23,000 from just this move. I'll show you guys how. So afterwards, price went up. I saw this, and then it rejected it. It played a bit. It started playing a bit more around this area. Then boom, it shot up. As soon as it shot up, price closed above. You can simply see this area. It closed above. This area, it broke above here, failed to close, but it closed a bit more high here. So I was like, you know what, this could be an entry. So I waited for price to break above the high here. I put some buy stops here. So as soon as price was there at the top side, I bought massively. And after I bought massively, it started going up. It was never low ever again. So it went boom, it shot up, came back to retest, boom. Once it broke here, I moved my stop loss to here. I told my members in the team, guys, let's lock. We started locking profits. Then we shot up, we came here. Yeah, we shot up, we came here. At this time here, it was just before 2:30. Let me see, 2:30. It was just before 2:30. It was like around 2, yeah, during the time frame of 2 to 3. So this was actually what was happening. It was a corrective phase. So I was like, you know what, let me instead lock my profits. So I eventually moved my profits all the way down to here. As soon as I moved my profits to here, like price was still playing around. Then 3:30, because the first initial trade that I took, the negative that I was floating at, there was like literally maybe -7, 8,000. The trade that I took at first, the sell, and then I was negative down by -8,000. And then this one here that I caught, I had 3 positions that were running. Only one position was giving me like 6,000 to 7,000. So I closed that one position, then I let the 2 ride, so I can at least bring back the negatives and log maximum profits. and then at this time, like I think total float of the account was like the equity, the money that was running still in profits was like maybe close to 18,000. I closed that, and then just here is 3:30. This move was pushed by 3:30. Just before 3:30 came, I moved my stop loss to literally below this candle, and then boom, price went up. That's what happened. Price went up, and one thing I noticed after price pushed upwards, it broke above here. I took profits at somewhere around these areas. I didn't expect price to push so high like this, but I took profits here, and then it eventually ended up to me closing total profits of 23,000 rands. So I was sorted, I was excited. I was happy with this move, so I went out. I tried to search more opportunities. So now you can simply see on the 15 minutes what's actually going on here. On the 15 minutes, price went up, boom, played up, went up this top area, and then now we saw price breaking down. The reason I sold here at first is because I saw price breaking down, but it went a bit more up. So let me show you how I took this trade. So yeah, I sent it in the team even. I was like, wait for candle close near confirmation, and as soon as we got this candle close, I sold multiple times. It went down, then also here I sold. So as soon as price was somewhere around here at the low, what I done is that I was like, you know what, let me lock profits on this one. Yeah, let me lock so it doesn't take me out. And my initial stop loss was a bit back. It was here. My stop loss was literally here, I think. Yeah, so I even told the team members, I was like, you know what, move your stop loss to now being here. So instead of risking all the way 1%, we are now risking literally 0.30% of our account, which is very, very, very small. Because we even, what I done is that I had other trades that they took me out here on break even, but the only one that's running is the one that's here. So I'll just see what happens. If price will continue break to the downside, go all the way to the downside, or let me remove this, or if price will happen to just break to the upside, on which I'm not seeing that happening now, but if it does break upside, I'll wait for a retest and then I'll take this buy, go all the way to the upside with it. Man, that's what I'll do when this trade does, like, you know, show itself. But it's amazing to be able to, because one thing that I like about this is that management is one of the most important thing when it comes to trading. Like with most people, they're able to get a beautiful setup, they're able to catch a beautiful trade, but the most important thing, which is like, you know, to skill the trade, to make more money off of the winning trade, to be able to just, you know, continue adding up onto the trade and making sure that you secure as much profits as possible. Because just because you are floating maybe 1,000, it doesn't mean that your bank or what you have banked already is 1,000. You banked even less than that, so you need to be, you might find out that you banked less than that, so it'll need you to actually put more focus into you know, locking your equity. So whatever that you're making, if you're floating 1,000, lock at least, like, you know, 60% of that or 70%, and let the others run. Because imagine you're floating 1,000 and then the trade goes back against you, then it goes down to 200, so you lost 80% of the profits that you're making, which is not good way to trade. So that's one thing that I learned from, you know, being able to just manage my risk. Because I always say this, like, you know, the one that actually manages the risk better than the other is the one that will stay longer in the market. So the one that is able to manage risk, the one that is able to play around with risk, is the one that will stay longer in the markets. If you're able to play with risk, that means that you have more advantages being in the markets for a longer period of time. But if you can respect risk, yes, you can make a lot of money now, but you can't be in the markets for the next 5 years, 10 years, or even 3 years to come, because you're not too good with risk. So we need to be a bit more careful with how we're playing with our risk. But that's just, you know, how I wanted you guys to see the trade that we got on US30, and not only that, but also the trade that we now have running, and hopefully you'll be able to just, you know, secure some profits from this. But not only that, guys, make sure that you are subscribed onto my YouTube channel. I share a lot of valuable information about how I get to, you know, understand the markets, how I'm skilled in the markets, and I just give a lot of that information back to you guys. So all you have to do is just subscribe and comment below. Tell me what you guys think about this video, and tell me if you also eat from the position that I just shared with you. See you guys on the next video. It's your boy Lesiwa Mutupi.